welcome back to Adelshoven. We're now in March, and as you can see from the bank balance, we are a little bit short. So after buying that field 10 in the last episode and then rolling over, our monthly leasing costs have kicked us in to the negatives, and I'm hoping that the produce that we've got here to sell will help sort that out and get us back above water. There's also a contract that I picked up at the end of the day yesterday, which to fertilise the field that we sowed, so we'll run up there and do that with the liquid fertiliser. But first of all, we will just move some of this produce. So we know a premium potatoes and a French fries gets us almost $600, so these will go pretty close. That was quick. $200 for the French fries. That's a lot of tips. Overnight, or over the month changeover, we also got some more piglets, so just haven't quite got that on the right. Of course it would fall off. Let's get that out of the way. Oh, premium potatoes not accepted here, definitely. We can run over and put the pig food in. And the other thing that I did at the end of the day yesterday, and I've managed to put the ute right in the way, is I activated potatoes in the open air garden so that we produce, not because we need any more necessarily for the production, but we will need some seed potatoes in order to be able to plant build 10, and so I wanted to make sure that we've got a reasonable stock. I'm not sure how many we'll need. If we've got any surplus, we'll be able to sell them. Let's go up to the feed area to put that in. There we go. And we can just have a look at the pigs while we're here. So our pigs now are coming along quite nicely. 36 in total. So there's the new piglets. These ones are the ones that have just given birth. 10 months old, and then 2-month-old, 1-month-old, 4-month-old, and 3-month-old. And what you can see from the, where is it, the 4-month-old, they're only a couple of months off puberty. So we won't get any next month, but then the we should start to, or the next 2 months, but then we should start to get back into the breeding process, and they've got plenty of food. And with the exception of the last 2 lots, well, the piglets that we got and the ones we bought last month, the rest of them are getting close to or above what we paid for them. So we're ahead here. We'll go and sort those flying premium potato pallet out. Well, that was a trick that I didn't expect. I have absolutely no idea how it jumped onto there. And there was zero creative trickery involved. It just, I suppose when you lose enough of them, eventually one of them's got to default into the right spot. Let's just make sure there's no special. We've got strawberries over there. Farmers market, it says. Peppers we've got, which are saying the market stall, and onions. So peppers are actually at the max price, so it's okay. We'll I think we'll sell everything at the market stall. It's just more convenient and it suits the style of gain that we're running on here. $1,300. We will we're pretty close to sorting that out, hopefully. And the other thing that's interesting is I wandered across to our grass field before. I'll go over and show you that in a minute. So we bought and planted and took a cut off that back in November, and I would have expected it by now to have regrown and be ready for another cut. However, it is not. Well, we don't have peppers, we've got cucumbers and onions. And so I'm a bit of a loss as to what's going on with our grass field. But I'll show you what I mean. Just pop these in the sell point. 700 litres of onions won't be enough. It all comes down to how much the cucumbers are worth. Oh, not quite enough, 135, so we really need to do that contract. First I'll go and show you this this grass field. I'd be interested if anybody's got any ideas in the comments. I think it'll be next month we'll sell the wool. So here we go. Here's our grass field, which we harvested, but it appears to be stuck at the harvested growth stage. Right, we cut it, we collected, but it just hasn't regrown. It's fully fertilized. So I put 2 loads of fertilizer on over the winter. Oops, where are we? But you can see it's not showing as having any growth stages on it at all. Yet it is fully fertilized. Would like to be rolled, but the rolling it or not shouldn't prevent it from growing. So I'd be very interested in the comments if anyone's got any idea. We will leave it another month and see if it does decide. See, this section here looks like it's slightly regrown, or maybe that was an area that I missed when I originally cut it. A bit hard to tell, so I'm really not sure what's going on there. But if someone watching in the comments has a clue or some advice, I'd be most appreciative. But that's what's happening there. Let's just have a look at sunflower oil. So sunflower oil here, 2178. So sunflower oil is still up over its long-term max price. So I think we'll sell any of that comes out through the course of the day. What did it say the right location was? The wholesale. Look at the difference in prices actually to see if it's worth driving all the way to the bottom end of the map. Farmers wholesale, because we sold at the land handle before. Sunflower oil. Farmers wholesale is a little bit better price than our, well, $16. I don't think $16 it's worth walking down. So whilst I wouldn't sell in bulk, I think we can put one pallet on our market stall. It's a better proposition than driving down there. So let's just hop in here for the present. And we can sell that sunflower oil, and then we'll go and do this contract. And then we'll have a look at preparing that field to plant our potatoes. It was limed by the looks, so it should be ready pretty much to put potatoes straight in. And this takes us back into the positive, which is good. We'll need this a little bit later on. Load those potatoes. So the contract is up on field 7. We'll use our sprayer. It shouldn't take too long at all. Assuming we've got enough fertiliser. $1,447 litres. I reckon that'll go pretty close. There's couple of hundred left in the tank. There may even be some in this front tank. We'll see. Oops. It's better. 1585. Countdowns beginning in the real world for the upcoming release of the Platinum expansion. I haven't been following it too closely. I'm at best a modest user of forestry. I'm always interested in new features and capabilities, so I'm quite intrigued to see what comes along. And as I did partake in the seasons pass, so I'll have access to it. Whether or not I'll run Silver Run Forest, I really haven't decided. It'll depend if the map takes my fancy or not. So if we go here, oops. skipping past it. 4% done. So one of the things will be interesting is whether any of the equipment is of use in our setting here. Potentially, you know, we've got some little hillsides, and so maybe the yarder might be some encouragement to do a little bit of forestry here. We'll see. I'm certainly not planning to race out and jump onto Silver Run Forest. I think there'll be a lot of creators that do that in their own, each in their own way, and I doubt that I'll have a unique enough idea to warrant joining that crowd. I'll be intrigued to see what maps follow it out. I think there's a few pretty good map makers that have got some stuff in the wings, and that maybe there are some extra features that we'll hear about that will come in sort of new to be released maps. So just play that a bit by ear. What did that take us? About 300 litres, so I'm pretty confident we're going to have enough to do this, because that was about a quarter of the field, 23%. I was commenting to someone today that it was the frenzy over pumps and hoses died down pretty quickly, and whilst I'm interested in that content, I haven't seen the need to jump in and buy that particular module. So I'll just wait for them to do a little bit more work to iron out some of the wrinkles that came with it. In the meantime, we've got plenty of stuff to keep us busy and going. If you haven't seen it, FSG Modding has put out for PC players a mod folder management mod that builds on the old, well, the same type of function of the old Sim Game Alliance mod switcher, but it's got a really nice user interface and some more capabilities. If you have a look at the review that Argsy Gaming did, you'll get a really good sense of it. That just came out a couple of days ago, so if you're like me and have got lots of saves and lots of mods in different folders, I highly recommend you having a look at that tool. You can get access to it from a link on the FSG Modding Facebook page. But it's a standalone application, it's not a mod itself. So I'm not really in a position here to show you how it works, just to say that I'm finding it really useful and helpful, and I learnt everything I know about it from Argsy Gaming. Yeah, 58%. We'll do, with any luck, one more pass up the hill. This one will be done. And that white patch down there, that's our new field that needs potatoes in it. So we'll go and get on to seeding that shortly. But I am quite baffled as to what's going on with that grass field. All the other grass I've cut on the map has regrown nicely, and we seeded that field specially. So it's not like we put the wrong crop in it or something. The fact that it's got grass, we'd actually plowed it up and reseeded it. So maybe it's just taking long to grow for some reason. There's the middle here. This is the bit we haven't done. I probably want to bring the boom in one spot. Yep, that's about the right width. This bit won't get us to the end, but it'll get us close-ish. A nice view of the spraying and getting the fertilisation state to where it needs to be for this farmer. Where are we? Oh, we did finish. Try folding up. So that's all we need to do on that one. We can take the access road from the sawmill back down to the yard. Let's just complete that contract and see what else is happening on the contract front. And the answer is not much at all. So that's okay. We've got enough money now to get us through the next couple of months. So next order of business is to concentrate on getting our potatoes in the ground. So we'll tackle that. And then maybe we need to think about buying one of those grass fields because we need another source of grass so that we don't have to keep fiddling around and cutting the verges in order to get our fermenting silo up and running. Probably the one that makes the most sense to purchase is the one at the end of field 10. We'll have a look at that in just a minute. We've got 300 litres, so that's a little bit of weight. We'll leave that front tank on just to give us a little bit of weight while we're running the potato harvester. We'll put this mower, oops, over here. With the rest of the grass equipment. And I haven't forgotten that another item on our list really needs to be another shed and something to clean the tractor and the equipment. Now, let's see here. We need some more potatoes. And we load No, we need to load from above by the looks. Maybe put it down. Nope. Okay, I couldn't remember from last time. A little bit narrower. There we go. Down. In. And hopefully loaded that up. So while we're in there, we'll drive you round to the field because we're going to need you again. Field 10 is showing what does it require? There's plenty of weeds in it. Turn the weeds off. It does not need lime. It doesn't need ploughing. No. Okay. Well, looks like a seed bed, so let's go and get our tractor. And we can plant potatoes this month, can't we? Just checking. Potatoes, yes we can. Now we know from last time that we did it, we need a bit of space at each end of the field. So I think this end will be not too bad if we put probably 4 rows across at least. So let's go down. You need to be turned on. No, you don't. Yep, there we go. And so we're getting a couple of rows in. 6 kilometers an hour is not the speediest process, but it's doing the trick. That up. And just run down there. Yeah, so I think 4 headland strips across here will then be enough to enable us to cut those for the and have some opportunity to turn, assuming we use the same equipment that we did last time. If we need to work on a couple of these trees to create some more space when it comes time, we can. I'm also wondering if we should put a beehive, because my understanding is there's a small yield increase putting bees next to potatoes. So in addition to giving us the byproduct of honey, which we don't necessarily need. We would just sell that at our store. We don't need much of it. But this field's small enough that a small hive will give us a little bit of benefit, I think. Up. Maybe if things go well for next year, we'll be able to afford a larger planter. This has done us quite well. There's nothing about it you could describe as speedy, but we're getting the job done. I think before we start going down the field here, we'll fill up with, well, maybe we'll get down and back. Let's just see what happens here. Looking at it for next year, I think we'll attempt to take the curve out and square this field up a little bit. Now though, yeah, that looks like what we should do. Because we own the land all the way across to the back of the, well, we own the land all the way across to the road, but technically, but I sort of imagine we can presume that we own the field here, so I think we should definitely take advantage of that. We don't have the time or the equipment today to prep it and sort it out. But yeah, that little extra bit there will help, and I think then this will be a good size potato field for us while we grow the other aspects of our operation. As you can see, there's lots of room for turning at this end of the field. It with the potatoes that we have. Whoops, we moved over a little bit. $39 litres. What we'll do is run one more headland down there to use up the last few in our tub. A run. That's okay. Excellent. And finish that. No, well, actually, we'll keep working from that side. I think will be the approach. Not quite far enough across. There we go. Right. But it's one of those things where I think a machine, let's have a look, just in the store for potatoes. This guy. Yeah, so he does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 meters, basically twice the width of what we're using, I think. What we're using is this one. No, 50% wider. But quite a lot more expensive. What are these guys? Same. Just a narrow one. So there's not a lot of seeding options. But yeah, rather than 2 meters at a time, 3 meters at a time would be quite a bit better, and probably, if I didn't look at that, a faster operating speed too. Well, it looks like we've got about 3 pallets of potatoes will seed this field, so that's good information. And the good news is we've got 2 remaining, so we shouldn't need the garden to produce anymore. We had a rain shower. It's left a bit of mist in the air through the middle of the day, and managed to mess up the timing a little bit with some fat fingers on the keyboard, but we've got that under control now, at least before it got dark. And we'll just tuck over here and get another pallet of potatoes. Let's take 2 over if we can, while the worker is progressing. I think we can comfortably turn off potato production in the garden. Where are we here? Oh, some more fertilizing contracts. We'll come back and look at those a bit later. We'll take the one on field 9 because that's nice and close. But where are we in the garden here? We can turn off potatoes. Get out of the way here. The other thing we were going to look at is just the field pricing for this grass field here. So that's quite a big block, unfortunately, which is why it's 100,000. We're not going to generate 100,000 anytime soon. The one down there is 75. That's a huge block with lots of trees at 500,000. So that's a bit unfortunate. Oh well. We just have to make the one we've got work. Meanwhile, we'll take back over here at the end of the row, I think, and finish off this field. Now it's just a matter of cleaning up just the odd spot in the field that we missed, so that the little dots of lime there don't trigger those amongst us with OCD. Must admit, find them annoying to look at. Oh goodness, but then again I'm incompetent with the keyboard controls. I've long known that getting my hands to do what my brain instructs is a challenge. You've only got to look at my handwriting to understand that problem. My golf game is similarly affected. Well, can't really call it a golf game, I don't have one. But yes, I learnt at quite a young age that what I could see in my head that I wanted done wasn't necessarily going to come out tips of my fingers. So, at least not until I discovered that you could get computers to do stuff for you. Oh goodness, that was a little... But even then sometimes my brain says, ah yes, push your index finger on the button, and what happens? I use my middle finger instead. Very bizarre. Rightio. Well, I think that's pretty much the job done here. And that's been a pretty reasonable day. We've got enough cash for the overnight. We've got a contract for the next one. We just need to figure out what's happening with the grass fields, and life will be pretty good. Oh, there's one spot right up there in the end, and just ignore that one where I went the wrong way across the hills. We won't go back and look at that again. So yeah, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I think we'll get a nice crop of potatoes off here, and we can start. We have 1 litre of potatoes left in that tub that's sitting on the ground there that I managed to knock off the forklift. There we go. Let's just get all of those. One litre I can lift. It says it's 190 kilos. Interesting. And the other thing I just wanted to do before we finish is have a quick look. That Fendt would be a really good pickup. But we just don't have 40,000 just yet. We're getting close to the point where we will be able to add a second tractor and a little bit of variety in how we work the fields now that we've got a couple of fields that are working for us. Hopefully the next sort of crops will really kick all of that along. But for now, I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. We've got a little bit more produce there to sell, and I have turned off the potatoes in the open air garden. I think I might have mentioned that. So that's where we're going to leave it. Thanks for watching, folks. See ya.